Shalom. Today we're going to be doing the Parashah, the Shabath reading for the Torah. It's really Yitro. It's in Exodus chapter 8, verse 1 to Exodus chapter 20, verse 23. And so the first portion is going to be Exodus chapter 18, verse 1 to 12. Yitro, the minister of Midian, the father-in-law of Moshe, heard everything that Elohim did to Moshe and to Yashar'Allah, his people, that Yahweh had taken out of Egypt. Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe, took Zipporah, the wife of Moshe, after she had been sent away, and her two sons, whom the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I was a sojourner in a strange land, and the name of the other was Eleazar, for my father came to my aid, and he saved me from the sword of Pharaoh. Jethro, the father-in-law of Moshe, came to Moshe with his sons and his wife to the wilderness where he was encamped by the mountain of Elohim. He said to Moshe, I, your father-in-law Jethro, have come to you with your wife and your two sons with her. Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law, and he prostrated himself and kissed him. And each inquired about the other's well-being, and they came to the tent. Moshe told his father-in-law everything that Yahweh had done to Pharaoh in Egypt for Yashar'Allah's sake, all the travail that had befallen them on their way, and that Yahweh had rescued them. Jethro rejoiced over all the good that Yahweh had done for Yashar'Allah, that he had rescued it from the hand of Egypt. Jethro said, Blessed is Yahweh, who has rescued you from the hand of Egypt, and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has rescued people from under the hand of Egypt. Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all gods, for in the very matter in which the Egyptians conspired against him, Jethro, the father-in-law of Moshe, took an elevation offering and a feast offering for Elohim. Now Haran and all the elders of Yashar'Allah came to eat bread with the father-in-law of Moshe before Elohim.
Parashah Parashah ben Gad ben Yashar'Allah.
Amarva, Barak,
Yabar Kami Hal Bashem Yalshai.
Barak, Hal Bashem Yalshai.
Exodus chapter 18, verse 13 to 23. It was on the next day that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from the morning until the evening. The father-in-law of Moshe saw everything that he was doing to the people, and he said, What is this thing that you do to the people? Why do you sit alone with all the people standing by you from morning to evening? Moshe said to his father-in-law, Because the people come to me to seek Elohim. When they have a matter, one comes to me, and I judge between a man and his fellow, and I make known the decrees of Elohim and his teachings. The father-in-law of Moshe said to him, The thing that you do is not good. You will surely become worn out, you as well as this people that is with you. For this matter is too hard for you. You will not be able to do it alone. Now heed my voice. I shall advise you, and may Elohim be with you. You be a representative to Elohim, and you convey the matters to Elohim. You shall caution them regarding the decrees and teachings, and you shall make known to them the path in which they should go, and the deeds that they should do. And you shall discern them, and discern from the entire people, men of accomplishment, God-fearing men, people, men of truth, people who despise money, and you shall appoint them leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50s, and leaders of 10s. They shall judge the people at all times, and they shall bring every major matter to you, and every minor matter they shall judge, and it will be eased for you, and they shall bear with you. If you do this thing, and Elohim shall command you, then you will be able to endure, and this entire people as well shall arrive at its destination in peace.
Amar ban Parashah ban Gad ban Yashar'Allah.
Amadwan, Barak,
Yabar Kami Hal Bashem Yalshai.
Yabar Kai Hal Bashem Yalshai.
Exodus chapter 18, verse 24 to 27. Moshe heeded the voice of his father-in-law and did everything that he had said. Moshe chose men of accomplishment from among all Yashar'Allah and appointed them heads of the people, leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of fifties, and leaders of tens. They judged the people at all times. The difficult things they would bring to Moshe, and the minor things that they would themselves would judge. Moshe sent off his father-in-law, and he went into his land. Kalshra, Varihala, Na'asham, Menashmai. All Yahweh said, what are we doing here?
Parashah Parashah and God bring Shabath.
Amava, Barak,
Yeah, Barak.
Yabarak,
Exodus chapter 19, verse 1 through 6. In the third month from the exodus of the children of Yashar'Allah from the land of Egypt, on this day they arrived at the wilderness of Sinai. They journeyed from Rephidim and arrived at the wilderness of Sinai and encamped in the wilderness, and Yashar'Allah encamped there, opposite the mountain. Moshe ascended to Elohim, and Yahweh called to him from the mountain, saying, so shall you say to the house of Jacob and relate to the children of Yashar'Allah. You have seen what I did to Egypt, and that I have borne on you on the wings of eagles, and brought you to me. And now, if you hearken to me and observe my covenant, you shall be to me the most beloved treasure of all peoples, for mine is the entire world. You shall be to me a kingdom of ministers and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the children of Yashar'Allah. The children of Yashar'Allah.
Amari ban Parazat ban Gad ban Yashar'Allah.
Amarwa, Barak. Ya Barak Khan Yahweh Bashem Yahshai.
Exodus chapters 19, verse 7 to 19. Moshe came and summoned the elders of the people and put them before all these words that Yahweh had commanded them. The entire people responded together and said, everything that Yahweh had spoken we shall do. Moshe brought back the words of the people to Yahweh. Yahweh said to Moshe, behold, I come to you in the thickness of a cloud, so that the people will hear as I speak to you, and they will also believe in you forever. Moshe related the words of the people to Yahweh. Yahweh said to Moshe, go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and they shall wash their clothing. Let them be prepared for the third day, for on the third day Yahweh shall descend in the sight of the entire people on Mount Sinai. You shall set boundaries for the people round about, saying, beware of ascending the mountain or touching its edge. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely die. A hand shall not touch it, for he shall surely be stoned or thrown down. Whether animal or person, he shall not live. Upon an extended blast of the shofar, they may ascend the mountain. Moshe descended from the mountain to the people. He sanctified the people, and they washed their clothing. And he said to the people, be prepared after the 3-day period. Do not draw near a woman. On the third day, when it was morning, there was thunder and lightning, and a heavy cloud on the mountain. And the sound of the shofar was very powerful, and the entire people that was in the camp shuddered. Moshe brought the people forth from the camp toward Elohim, and they stood at the bottom of the mountain. All of Mount Sinai was smoking because Yahweh had descended upon it in fire. Its smoke ascended like the smoke of the furnace, and the entire mountain shuddered exceedingly. The sound of the shofar grew continually much stronger. Moshe would speak, and Elohim will respond to him with a voice.
Parashah Parashah and God bring Shabath.
Madva,
Barak. Ya Barak Khan Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. Exodus chapter 19, verse 20 to Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Yahweh descended upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mountain. Yahweh summoned Moshe to the top of the mountain, and Moshe ascended. Yahweh said to Moshe, "Descend, warn the people, lest they break through to Yahweh to see, and a multitude of them will fall, even the Kohanim who approach Yahweh should be prepared, lest Yahweh burst forth against them." Moshe said to Yahweh, "The people cannot ascend Mount Sinai, for you have warned us, saying, Found the mountain and sanctify it." Yahweh said to him, "Go, descend, then you shall ascend, and Aharon with you. But the Kohanim and the people, they shall not break through to ascend to Yahweh, lest he burst forth against them." Moshe descended to the people and said it to them. Kal Shirah, Bari Hawa, Naisha, Wanashemai. Ali Hawa said, "What are we doing here?" Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 to 14. Elohim spoke all these statements, saying, "I am Yahweh your Elohim, who has taken you out of the land of Egypt from the house of slavery. You shall not recognize the gods of others in my presence. You shall not make yourself a carved image, nor any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or on the earth below, or in the water beneath the earth. You shall not prostrate yourself to them, nor worship them. For I am Yahweh your Elohim, a jealous Elohim, who visits the sin of fathers upon children to the third and fourth generations for my enemies, but who shows kindness for thousands of generations to those who love me and observe my commandments. You shall not take the name of Yahweh your Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not absolve any who take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to sanctify it. 6 days shall you work and accomplish all your work, but the seventh day is Shabath to Yahweh your Elohim. You shall not do any work. You, your son, your daughter, your slave, your maidservant, your animal, and your convert that within your gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and he rested on the seventh day. Therefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and sanctified it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days will be lengthened upon the land that Yahweh your Elohim gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your fellow. You should not covet your fellow's house. You should not covet your fellow's wife, his manservant, his maidservant, his ox, his donkey, nor anything that belongs to your fellow.
Marban Parashah von God Benushawa.
Madwan, Barak,
Yabraka Kam Yahweh Bashem Yahshai.
Yabraka Kai Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 15 and 23. The entire people saw the thunder and the flames, the sound of the shofar and the smoking mountain. The people saw it and trembled and stood from afar. They said to Moshe, "You speak to us, and we shall hear. Let Elohim not speak for us, lest we die." Moshe said to the people, "Do not fear, for in order to elevate you has Elohim come, so that awe of him shall be upon your faces, so that you shall not sin." The people stood from afar, and Moshe approached the thick cloud where Elohim was. Yahweh said to Moshe, "You shall say to the children of Yashar'Allah, you have seen that I have spoken to you from heaven. You shall not make images of what is with me. Gods of silver and gods of gold shall you not make for yourselves. An altar of earth shall you make for me, and you shall slaughter near it elevation offerings for your peace offerings, your flock and your herd. Wherever I permit my name to be mentioned, I shall come to you and bless you. And when you make for me an altar of stones, do not build them hewn, for you have raised your sword over it and desecrated it. You shall not ascend my altar on steps, so that your nakedness will not be uncovered upon it."
Parashah Parashah and Gadol Inshallah. Ya Baruch Kami Hal Bashem Yahshai. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1 through 13. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also Yahweh sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another, and said, Holy, holy is Yahweh of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken from the tongs, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar, and he laid it upon my mouth and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Also I heard the voice of Yahweh saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And then I said, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. And make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Then said I, Yahweh, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And Yahweh have removed men from far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. But yet in it shall be a tenth, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a tall tree, and as an oak, whose substance is in them. When they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. So it was the year that the king of Israel, Uzziah, died, the king of Judah, and he saw Yahweh probably in a dream. He was on a throne, lifted up, and then he saw seraphims, which are like angels, and which each one had 6 wings. So and then Isaiah was there. He said that he would be, woe is him, because he was unclean, since like he's just a normal man. He was a sinner of unclean lips, and he dealt with people with unclean lips. But then one of the angels went to him with a hot coal and put it on his lips, and he said that that the coal touched him, and that he was without sin now that it touched him. So Yahweh asked if who would go and like gather the people, and then Isaiah said that he would do it. So Yahweh said that they do make the heart of the people fat, and their ears heavy, and to close their eyes. So like probably so they could understand like the word of Yahweh. So they could understand and not just be they would be healed of their sin.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 16 through verse 29. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do, that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is on high. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which? Parashah said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man saith unto him, All these things have I kept up from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahushua said unto him, If thou be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor. Thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Yahushua to his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of on high. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? And Yahushua beheld them, and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with on high all things are possible. Then answered Peter, and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that which ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you shall also sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yashar'Allah. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. So what this one is about, there is a man who asked Yahushua what he had to do to get into the kingdom of heaven, and Yahushua told him that he had to get rid of everything that he had and give stuff to the poor people. And so the man, he didn't want to get rid of everything, so then he left. And Yahushua said that it was very unlikely for him to get into heaven because he didn't want to get rid of anything that he had. He wanted to keep onto everything that he had. So he didn't want to get rid of it. As Yahushua said that it was easier for a camel to go to a needle than for a rich man to go into heaven, because they don't want to. They want to keep everything. They don't want to give stuff to other people. that was all. And the next new moon is on February 4th at sunset, February 3rd at sunset, February 4th at sunset. And the first day of Passover is April 18th to April 19th, sunset to sunset. And last day of Passover is on April 24th to April 25th, sunset to sunset. And that was everything. Shalom.